Hi everybody, time for us to take a look at School Connect again. We're looking at lesson 1.13, Valuing and Education. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to run through a bell ringer. And in our bell ringer, I'm going to ask you to give me a number for each one of these 5 categories in yellow on the left. So for each one, we're going to choose whether your dreams of your future most closely match level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, or level 5. Now I want you to read these carefully, but in general, we know that level 1 is going to correspond to the least expensive, level 5 probably going to correspond to the most expensive lifestyle, right? Now, I want to be clear here. You don't want to just go through and check level 5 and everything without reading them, because personally, there are several of these where I actually don't prefer level 5 on everything, okay? So you might not either, but you'll have to look and see what you think, all right? It is okay to go big here. It's okay to dream big, right? There's no penalty for planning too big or dreaming too big here. So here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to make sure that you have paper to write on and something to write with, because you're going to need your 5 numbers again in a moment. So please go ahead and get something to write with, get some paper, I'll wait. And then for the first level, the home I dream of, I'd like you to read each one of these options carefully, please. And I'd like you to choose the one that fits you the best and just write down that number. And I'm also going to have a question pop up for you in a second. It's going to ask you what your number is. Ready? Go. Okay, hopefully that went really well and it was easy. So now we're going to try the second one, the car I dream of, right? Level 1 for the car I dream of is no car or an older car that needs repeated repairs. Level 5 is dream car, such as a luxury car, sports car, or collector's item. And level 3 is a nice car with all the basics and some extras. Right? We're going to choose the one that fits you the best from 1 through 5. I'm going to ask you in a moment here to go ahead and write it down on your paper and also put it into the question that pops up. Ready, go. Okay, you're almost halfway done. We're thinking about vacations now. Thinking of vacations. Level 1 in vacations is save off days for emergencies and very low cost breaks. Notice those are not paid vacation days. Those are saving up my days off in case I have an emergency and need to use them so I don't lose my job. Skipping level 2, level 3 is nice breaks to good locations that are not too expensive. So yeah, nice vacation, not too bad, but not going super far. Maybe I'm going to St. Louis for a couple of nights, or maybe I'm going to a state park to go camping for a while, something like that. And level 5, luxurious trips and destinations with top-notch food and entertainment, cruises, resorts, luxury hotels, foreign countries, right? All the big stuff. So again, we're going to write down the number that corresponds from 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 on your paper, and we're going to put your answer into the question that pops up. Ready, go. All right, good job. You're more than halfway done. Let's think about the schedule I dream of, right? Level 1, often late or early shifts, few vacation days, and clock in, clock out work. So this is literally shift work. This is where I might, for a while, work from, 7 a.m. to, 2 or 3 in the afternoon. I might work from 7 p.m., right, until the early hours of the morning. I'm doing shift work. And I don't have much control over my schedule. I just come in when they tell me to. Level 3 is weekly work with a somewhat flexible schedule, but with good benefits and paid vacation days. Now we're finally getting paid for our vacation days. We have to take one. And level 5 is flexible hours and in control of your own schedule, assignment-based work, able to work from remote locations, major perks and extra vacation days and company special events, right? So once again, I'd like to know what number you would pick from 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Put it on your paper, put it in the question that pops up. Ready, go. Okay, last category. Great job, guys. You're 4/5 of the way done. Let's finish it up strong. The work that I dream of. Level 1, entry level, manual labor, or ground floor type positions with less job security. Manual labor literally means working with your hands. This is the person who is digging with the shovel, the person who is chopping with the axe, the person who is turning the wrench, right? The person who is lifting and carrying things. And entry level, meaning like the job you can get with no experience and no knowledge, so it's the lowest pay, it's the first person who's going to be cut or laid off if they have to cut or lay anybody off, doesn't have job security, right? You can read level 2 for yourself. Level 3, mid-level jobs right out of school with lots of opportunity for growth in an area you have studied and in which you have interest. So this is not the boss, this is not the owner of the company, right? This is not a professional who's opened their own practice. It's mid-level, but mid-level means no longer entry level. You're probably not doing all the manual labor and all the grunt work. You're definitely not in the first job that gets cut. At least, hopefully not the first job that gets cut if jobs have to be cut. So you have a little more security. And you get to work in an area that you've studied and have some expertise in, which is nice because you get paid more, but it's also nice because you get to apply yourself to something you're interested in and not just work a job to make just enough money to make it. You can read level 4. Level 5, very quickly, higher level professional work that is respected and influential. Remember, when we say a professional, that's a person in a profession. That means that's a person who does work that requires a level of education, a level of expertise, a level of certification that doesn't allow just everybody to walk right in and start it right away, right? It might take years to fulfill all the requirements to get that kind of work. So we're thinking here at level 5, or maybe even beyond a school teacher, and we're thinking about things like, most lawyers. We're thinking about most doctors, highly placed engineers, people who are doing jobs that just not everybody can do, right? So they're able to demand a level of respect, a level of professional freedom, and a level of payment that not everybody can demand. So once again, last one here, this should be your 5th number. You're putting down the number somewhere between 1 and 5 on your paper, and you're putting it into the question as well. Ready, go. All right, great job on that, guys. You should have 5 numbers. Each one of them should be a number between 1 and 5. If you need to go back and put any of them back in, go ahead and pause the video here so you can see this, and make sure you have a number for each one of these 5 categories: home, car, vacation, schedule, and work. Now let's take a look at the essential questions really quickly here, because we don't have to answer these. We're just going to keep them in mind, right? The first essential question we're going to try to figure out to answer later is, what are the benefits of an education? Why do people want education? Why is it worth hard work and money and sacrifice to get an education? What does it benefit me? Second question, what are the costs of dropping out? So from the other side of the coin, what if I decide to quit? In Illinois, you can drop out when you're 17 years old. So in theory, on your 17th birthday, if you can get away with it with your family at home, you can drop out of high school. So the question is, what is that going to cost you? And third, what impact does level of education have on earnings and on lifestyle? Let's keep going. You're doing great. Let's keep moving. We're going to try to keep this short. We're not going to think pair share with pairs of people, but I am going to pop up 2 questions in a moment. We're going to add up your level numbers, those 5 numbers you wrote down on your paper. I'm going to ask you for your total of those 5 numbers. Then, using a calculator if you need one, or paper, or doing it in your head, whatever works for you, we're going to divide that total of the level numbers by 5. Divide it by 5, because that's going to give us a mean or an average across the 5 categories, right? We want to know your average number. So go ahead right now. You should see the questions pop up right about now. Okay, so you should have answered both questions by now. Let's look at our levels interpreted. It's really nothing very surprising, right? Level 1, if your average is around a 1, it means you could have an education and do work that even is in poverty and still be able to afford. 3 is what average earners can afford. Levels 4 and 5 are what you need to be a high earner or a very high earner to be able to afford. Unless, of course, you are inheriting a trust fund from your millionaire family, in which case none of this really applies to you in terms of what educational work you need for earnings, because, that's just the way our system works. But I don't know about you, I'm not inheriting any millions, so I'm going to keep going. Education options here is really just about vocabulary. I just want to make sure that we're all using vocabulary the same way. Then the highest level of education is a doctorate degree. When you see someone with PhD after their name, MD for medical doctor, specialized in their area. A person with a doctorate degree has basically written a new book in their area of study and has really contributed to the field. Okay, I ran through those kind of fast, but you can always come back to these. Let's keep going. We're going to skip the hourly economic impact chart and really quickly brush by the yearly salary. I just want you to notice all the way on the left, the average yearly salary for a high school dropout is about $25,000 a year. The average salary for a high school degree is about $35,000 a year. That's a big jump. If someone was making $25,000 a year and they got a $10,000 a year raise, that would be a huge change in their life. Let's just say it that way. The 4-year degree is similarly a huge jump. So there will be people with high school degrees who make way up here. There will be people with master's degrees who make way down here. But on average, you can see the correlation, right? The farther we go in school, the higher we go in earnings. Let's keep going here. Same thing here. This is lifetime achievement, but you can see the same correlation. The farther I go to the right, the more education someone has piled on. The higher I go in the chart, the more money they've earned over the lifetime of 40 years of work. So you can see the positive correlation here. Every time I move to the right, I'm moving up. So let's think about the benefits of education, because we did say we wanted that to be our essential question, right? Just a quick, brief thing here. I just want to say this first one is so important. Education is an asset that cannot be taken away or lost. In other words, once you have achieved a level of education, you have it banked. It cannot be taken from you. Right. The other thing to think about is they're going to say, basically, I'll let you read these 3 yourselves, but basically the second one is about freedom. It's about having options and being able to choose what you want to do with your time. The third one is about opportunities. It's about having jobs or positions or businesses to choose from rather than having to jump at whatever you can to make a living. And the last one here is an important point. No, money's not everything. But if you've ever tried to live without it, you know that when you have it, life is easier. So real quickly, examples from the field. We're going to skip this one about computer technicians. Let's think about these electrician examples. And the thing I want you to notice as you're reading through this is, as we go down this list from 1 to 5, from Joe to Sarah to Jose to Robert to Kathy, all these people work at this fictional electrical company, Sparks Electric, right? All of them. But their education corresponds to what they're able to earn and the kind of work they're able to do. Joe didn't finish high school. He works at Sparks, but he's an electrician helper. Maybe he's looking to move up to electrician one of these days, but for now, as an electrician helper, he's going to have to follow the lead of an electrician because they're the ones who are going to know all the safety rules and all of the math to get it figured out. He's making $28,000 a year, which is honestly pretty good for a dropout, for a high school dropout. He's making above average for a person who's had to drop out of high school. But could he be making more with a diploma? Yeah, because with a diploma he could be an electrician, or could have become one sooner for sure. So let's think about Sarah, who did finish high school, got her diploma, but she also went to a 2-year community college and studied electrical work there. So she is not only an electrician, she's a manager at Sparks. She's managing other electricians, making $50,000 a year. She's almost doubling what Joe makes, right? Then we think about Jose, who graduated from a 4-year college in electrical engineering. Now, from Jose to Robert to Kathy, you're going to notice the differences. We're going to be talking about electrical engineering. So these people didn't just study the technical issues of how to install types of wiring and this much conduit and how these, what the code says these boxes have to go in. Jose, Robert, and Kathy studied the art of designing electrical systems as an electrical engineer. So they're doing the creative work, they're doing the design work that is more highly compensated. So Jose graduated from a 4-year college, electrical engineering, as a supervisor at Sparks, makes $66,000 a year, pretty significant raise over what Sarah makes. Robert got his master's degree, so he went on from that 4-year college and went another year or two, got the master's degree in the same field, but he's the chief electrical engineer. So he's overseeing all the planning and engineering projects at Sparks, making $76,000 a year. I'll just notice too here that Jose and Robert probably have not climbed a pole in the middle of the night in 20-degree weather for years and years, because as electrical engineers, that's not their job, right? The electricians and electricians' helpers are doing that. They're going out in ice storms and trying to restore power by climbing poles, right? They're working on rooftops in the middle of the summer. They're, baking in the heat, freezing in the cold. And fifth is Kathy, who went on and got her doctorate. Remember, a PhD is a doctor of philosophy in electrical engineering. And Kathy is now the CEO, the Chief Executive Officer at Sparks, which means she manages the entire company day to day. So for that job, she makes $112,000 a year because she's doing a lot more than even electrical engineering. She's actually running the company, right? So way beyond. I'd love it if you want to take a longer look at these. Again, you can pause the video, but in the interest of time, I am going to move on. And we're going to wrap things up here. Remember, our essential questions were, what are the benefits of an education? And I hope that we found a few that you can name, even if you need to pause the video and just say it out loud right now. Second, we said, what are the costs of dropping out? And it's kind of the opposite of benefits, right? It's, if the benefits of an education are the ability to earn more, the ability to have more freedom, and the ability to have more options, the cost of dropping out are, on average, I'm going to earn less, right? I'm going to have less freedom in the work that I'm able to find without that education, and I'm going to have fewer options to find work and earn a living because I lack the education that would open up certain opportunities to me. And third, what impact does level of education have on earnings and lifestyle? Remember, we said those are two different things, right? Earnings is the amount of money I can earn and how quickly I can earn it. It is a big contributor to my lifestyle, but my lifestyle is also about what will I do for fun and relaxation when I'm not working, right? How much will I enjoy my work? How interesting will I find my work? How comfortable will I be at home? How much time will I have for my family and my friends? Right? Those are all lifestyle issues too. Okay, lots to think about. This has taken a while already, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Please make sure that you watch to the very end of this video, because Edpuzzle should tell you that you have completed it and it's being submitted, or else it probably didn't get turned in and you have to watch it again. All right, have a great day.